at Fury Fighting Championship 27. Calling the action here live at the Humble Civic Center. I am Todd Moore. Calling the action here with UFC welterweight Alex the Great White Morano. It's been a great night of action so far. This is our second professional fight of the evening. Both of these guys have close to 5 professional fights, so I'm pretty sure that this should be a 5-minute round, Diego. So we'll put it up there. We'll see how it goes. So bear with us out there if you're watching, if the clock doesn't add up. So Justin Vargas, ready for action.
Vargas, big dude.
Yeah, this is a middleweight fight. A lot of Levi's West's fights in his career have been at welterweight.
Yeah, I think all except his last 2 or 3.
You know, Levi West, he started fighting very young too, so he took a long layoff. So now that he's in his mid to late 20s, he probably fills out that 185 a lot better than he did when he was in his early 20s. And also maybe a little rejuvenated after that long layoff. I mean, coming off with a big win in his return in his last fight. So here we have Levi West making his way to the cage, coming off of a big TKO victory in his last fight over Shane Subnotsky. That was in July of this year. Prior to that, he had a long layoff from January of 2016 to July 2018. Quick side note, you know, Levi's been fighting for well over 8 years. He's got an amateur victory over UFC fighter Jeffrey Neal from Dallas back in November of 2011. It was a split decision victory.
Yeah, Jeff Neal is a monster. He just got the most vicious head kick knockout in his last fight. You know, that's a big feather in a cap to have a win over him. You know, even at the amateurs. You know, Levi went 7-1 as an amateur and did very well and had high hopes for a pro career and had a really rough start, some really unique losses. I know he lost once in a fight by throwing up. Another one he got Von Flue choked. Another one he was winning the fight and ran into a Hail Mary guillotine.
Yeah, he's been in there with some veterans of the Houston and Texas area through John Kirk, who's got like close to 50 fights. Chris Lopez, who's got a solid record at 10-2.
Well, yeah, with a bunch of knockouts. That was a good fight, too. You know, Chris finished him in the third, but that was a very back-and-forth fight.
And as we were mentioning, Jeffrey Neal, who's coming off of a huge head kick victory in UFC. Levi West, ready for action.
You know, these guys had some animosity going in at weigh-ins, too. There was some pushing. Eric had to get in between them. This is going to be a fun fight. There's no love lost between these guys.
Levi West, Justin Vicious Vargas, and this fight is officially underway. Vargas opening up with some leg kicks. It's interesting to note, as you're talking about the animosity between these two, they had a little bit of an altercation at the weigh-ins yesterday. So they're looking to see if they're going to take that anger into this fight, see who can shake the other first.
Vargas been a little more active off the bat. I know Levi's got a pretty solid boxing background. Let's see if he really pumps that jab out, starts to find his range.
See if he can add on to that first victory that he had from July.
That's a good accurate right hand from West. Vargas walked right through it though.
Could this be the start of a rejuvenation for Levi West? Vargas there working the feints, adding the leg kick. Narrowly missing with that overhand right.
And Levi needs to be careful trying to catch that low kick. Looks like Vargas is a little more comfortable with his range off the bat.
Yeah, both of these guys are kind of crouched pretty low. Their knees bent pretty well for two tall guys. As you were saying, I think like Levi's kind of anticipating that leg kick and trying to catch it and see if he can score a takedown or a big punch off of it. So
he's got good awareness of when it's coming, but it's just risky to try to catch. The guy could go high with it and land to the head. That's why it's not super encouraged. Levi with a nice high kick of his own.
yeah, narrowly missed.
I'll tell you, Levi's got a quick jab. I think he should use it a little bit more. Maybe put a little more weight behind it. You know, you can do a lot of damage in a 4-ounce glove with a jab.
Speaking of 4 ounce working the corner of Levi West. There you see former UFC fighter Daniel Pineda working the corner, current Bellator fighter.
Yeah, Daniel Pineda will be fighting on the next Fury show in December, the black tie night.
Oh, yeah, looking for the lightweight. Oh, big left there by Vargas. I'm not sure if it was from the punch or kind of Levi getting tripped up on his feet there, circling out.
I think the punch connected and dropped him. Levi, man, that got him a little mad. He tagged him with a good right hand right after. Vargas can't come in too hard.
They don't call him vicious for nothing. Vicious Vargas there, landed with a big shot.
He had the most success pushing Levi backwards.
There we see 2.5 minutes into this opening round.
Vargas with a good check hook. I think he anticipated Levi's 1-2. He's got a good 1-2. Check hook's a very natural counter.
10 seconds left in this round. So this fight is also 3 3-minute rounds. So we were taking the risk and we thought that maybe it'd be a 5-minute round, but the commission chose to make this 3. And we have the end of the first round between Levi West and Justin Vicious Vargas.
I think that round has to go to Vargas. You know, he was coming forward. It was pretty even in the striking exchanges, but he did get that left hook that had put Levi down for a second. That's going to be the determining factor.
Yeah, other than that, it was a pretty close round between the two.
I know both guys have a striking preference and background. I don't think this one will be going to the max.
There we have Alex Chang working the corner alongside Daniel Pineda of Levi West. You have to wonder what kind of adjustments he's telling Levi to make for round number 2. Already, both these fighters are ready to go. Levi trying to crowd the center.
Chris Reed having no part of it.
Yeah, when fighters do that, it's almost like they're basically using their body language to try to take ownership of the area. It's all psychological warfare in the fight game. It's like letting them know, hey, I have the power to take this space, regardless of where the referee's telling me to stand.
It's a nice cage from Fury too. This is one of their newer ones. It's the biggest cage they use. Really solid production in the show.
Both these guys opening up, looking for their openings. Another leg kick there by Vicious Vargas. Answered back there by West. Oh, low kick into side kick there by Vicious.
You know, in previous fights, Leif has had a lot of success with his hands, with his 1-2 especially. I'd like to see him go back to that just a little bit more.
He's got some pop in that right.
Levi with double underhooks. Used it to get his back off the cage and turn through. Yeah, Vargas' corner calling for that right hand. It needs to be set up though. It'll be tough to just throw and land from range. There you go. Some feints will work his way in.
Oh, big right kick there by West. Looked like it landed the chest of Vargas and caught the kick from Vargas. Wasn't able to use it for anything.
Nice left hook there from Levi. Yeah, that may have been one of the most significant strikes of the round so far. You know, both guys with very even offense. Not a lot of defense. Both guys throwing a lot, landing a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen any takedown attempts so far in this fight. Another high kick attempt by West. Vargas able to block that.
Nice low kick there from Vargas.
Both these fighters battling for control, using the strikes. Big left hand there by Justin Vargas, and he backs West up.
Yeah, it's that same left hook, just right over the top.
Able to score a flash knockdown there by Vargas.
Again, that's definitely putting him ahead in this round. There's only a few seconds left.
Yeah, and it was a pretty close round. If anything, I was probably leaning a little bit towards West until that knockdown. So just under 10 seconds left. And these two are finishing the round strong. Round 2 comes to a close. And once again, another flash knockdown by Vargas, securing the round for him. You have to wonder, what is West's corner telling him at this moment? Likely thinking that he's down by 2.
Yeah, they're going to tell him he needs the knockout. He needs to land that straight, that 1-2 to finish this fight.
At that point, you have nothing to lose. You might as well just put it all on the line, take a risk. As my old high school wrestling coach used to say, I'd rather you lose trying to do something than just to stalemate and just kind of ride it out and do nothing. So West has to know that he's down on the cards with those 2 knockdowns. Even though they were quick, they were probably the most significant things that scored in this fight thus far.
Yeah, a bit of misdirection from Vargas. You know, that left hook's coming pretty quick. There's nothing really before or after, but it's doing the job. That's the difference between MMA and boxing. 4-ounce gloves only take 1 shot.
Third and final round between these 2 middleweights. Leg kick there by Vargas, answered back by West with a big overhand right. Once again, West looking for that high kick. Still can't quite find a home for that.
You know, I stand corrected too. I thought Levi was a southpaw before this fight, an orthodox fighter. Still looking for that straight right hand though. I'll tell you, Vargas has done some good work with those low kicks.
And there's the counter that West was looking for earlier, trying to catch the leg kick into an overhand right.
Yeah, that leg kick's starting to affect Levi. That last right hand that Levi landed actually opened up a little cut on Vargas's nose.
Can West make a comeback victory and score the knockout? Or will it be Vicious Vargas to be able to keep control of this fight?
I can see Vargas going high with that right kick. Levi's really keeping that left hand low.
Yeah, and look at Levi's thigh is red right now, beat red.
Oh yeah, his leg's beat up for sure. Even the way he's moving is different. Again, this is where those 3 rounds are gonna hurt him in the long run. He needs a little more time. There's only about a little over a minute left, and it's looking like Vargas is gonna take this fight.
Just under a minute left in this matchup between these 2 middleweights. Justin Vicious Vargas and Levi West.
You know, this is where training really hard in a fight camp comes in. You know, they're both tired. This is where you got to just push the pace, and you got to take a win.
You push the pace, look for something big. These 2 are throwing some leather now.
That's a good exchange.
Body lockdown by Vargas. Time is not on the side of Levi West. Just under 30 seconds. He can't let Vargas eat up the clock with this body lock. He's got to make some space and look for the knockout.
Yeah, Levi needs to start pummeling hard and start to get his back off that cage.
Just under 10 seconds left. Can West score something big? And Vargas finishing the round strong. Swinging away. And this middleweight matchup goes to the decision between Levi West And Justice. Oh, my goodness. Justin Vicious Vargas called him Justice.
That was a good contest. I think Vargas takes that. Absolutely the first 2 rounds, even the third. He was a little more accurate with the strikes in the third round.
Yeah, I'm going to check with the timekeeper and see how if they're going to have the next fights be. When does the 5-minute round start?
You know, I don't know why they all wouldn't be 5-minute rounds for pro fight, but I've also heard if somebody does have an upside-down record, you know, Levi being 1-4, then that's why they have him at 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've also heard that anybody under 5 fights have been, you know, required for them to do 3-minute rounds, and so sometimes I just wonder if it's just, you know, they just go by the seat of their pants, just go by the wayside and decide, okay, today we're going to make it 5-minute rounds. Oh, we have a split decision victory.
And Judge Trans Williams scores the fight 30-27 for your winner by split decision, Justin Vargas.
Justin Vicious Vargas improves his record to 3-1 with the split decision victory over Levi West.
That was a good fight. The right call. That was good. It was those left hooks, I think, that really won the fight for Vargas there. And the low kicks did some good damage.
And I think it was an appropriate decision at split because it was a pretty close first 2 rounds. Yeah, actually even the third round too. So
yeah, both guys had good offense. It was really who was just a little more offensive, and I think Vargas did throw just a little bit more than Levi. Both guys had good moments.